In the previous episode, we talked about 2D animation. We hope you were taking notes because most of what was discussed there are also applicable in making 3D animation. If you'll remember, you need a boatload of people to help you out. Let's take a look at them. They travel the river of 3D animation, making stops at these docks. Modeling, materials and textures, rigging or boning, animation, lighting and cameras, special effects, rendering and compositing. In the pre-production phase, you had the 3D modeler create models of your elements. The modeling stage is where you build geometry to represent objects and characters. They describe the position and shape of your models and can be manipulated in your software's 3D workspace. Different kinds of 3D models can be created: organic, mechanical, cartoonish, and photorealistic. With the completed model, animation now begins. You bring your geometric figures to life by changing its position or shape over time. Characters go through the process of rigging or boning. This allows complex movement in the character. Lip shapes called phonemes are also created during this time. A character rig is composed of several joints, which forms a character's skeleton. Like in real life, the joints or bones of the character move parts of the model that it's assigned to. These joints affect each other in what is known as a parent-child relationship. A parent joint by default controls its child joint. Whatever the parent does, the child follows. This joint relationship is called forward kinematics, or FK. Inverse kinematics, or IK, on the other hand, is when the child joint controls the movement of the parent. IK and FK give animators options which can best convey the motion they want to achieve. When your models are moving, you can now give them skins and textures. These help bring detail and visual richness to surfaces, making your work look even better. All the animator needs to do at this stage are lighting and cameras. Aside from illuminating and framing objects, cameras and lighting design are important in telling a story. Lighting helps create atmosphere, giving information without having to have dialogue. 3-point lighting is the minimum amount of lights needed to create expressive lighting. The key light defines the main subject or object within a shot. It illuminates the subject and creates shadows to bring out the texture of an object or character. The fill light softens the shadows made by the key light, lowering the contrast between light and dark. The backlight creates a highlight around the object, making it stand out from the background. There are two types of key lights. High key lighting conveys an overall brightness to an image with minimal shadows. This type of lighting is used in sitcoms, news programs, and industrial videos. Low key lighting produces uneven distribution of light. There are lots of shadows and concentrated areas of atmospheric light. The contrast between light and darkness also helps focusing the viewer's attention to specific areas. High contrast lighting creates dramatic and interesting images by setting off one part of an image from another. Low contrast lighting has no blacks or whites. All you see is a range of grays. You can create mood and imply personalities with light quality. Hard light casts clearly defined shadows and brings out textures in objects. Imperfections are also emphasized with hard lighting. Soft light softens or hides an object's imperfections. How you aim your light also makes a difference. Frontal lighting creates minimal shadows and texture. There is hardly a distinction between the foreground and the background. Side lighting gives one side of an object shadows, creating a three-dimensional effect. Side lighting also brings out details and textures. Backlighting separates the background from the subject, oftentimes making a silhouette. Only the shape of the subject is visible, creating a mysterious mood. Underlighting illuminates the bottom half of a figure and shades the top half, producing odd-looking shadows. Characters that are underlit appear evil and sinister. Your special effects make your animation even more effective. A lot of special effects such as fire, fields of grass, and glowing lights can't easily be represented with models and textures. Tools such as particles and paint effects can be used to add these effects. A word of caution, you must find the appropriate lighting design and special effects that fit the look of your animation. When all the elements of your scene are in place, you can now start rendering. Rendering is the process of outputting the animated scenes into TIFF or Targa frames so it can be edited in post-production. You have the option of rendering a single image, a sequence of images, or even a single object. The rendered images are brought together to be composited, making them ready for post-production. Now you're all ready for post-production.